Christian Hedges.
And I'm Colin McElmeel, and today we'll be taking a look at the evaporative emissions control system on this 2018 Hyundai Tucson, and we'll also be doing an active road test on my 2008 Chevy Cobalt.
So this component right here is the canister purge solenoid. This hose right here goes all the way back to the fuel tank, and this hose right down here, it goes right into the intake manifold.
So we have the connector disconnected, and we are probing the connectors to check for resistance, and we have a value of about 20 ohms, and according to all data our specification is 22 to 26 ohms, so we are a little bit out of spec. So we're going to do some further testing to see if this purge valve works or not. So we're now going to use the bidirectional controls from the AUT scan tool to trigger the purge valve solenoid, and we're going to see if we can hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but the purge solenoid is in fact clicking. Underneath the vehicle, right here, this is the gas tank, and located right there is the canister close valve, and this is the connector for it. And the canister itself is located on top of the fuel tank, and to get there you'd have to drop the fuel tank. So this is what it looks like from the service information.
After disconnecting the connector to the solenoid, we are testing the resistance of the coil within the solenoid, and we have a reading of 21 ohms, and as we look at all data here, the specification is 19.5 to 22.5 ohms, so it's good to go.
So we're now going to test the operation of the canister vent solenoid, once again using the scan tool. So you can hear it clicking open and close, so it's operating.
So after the removal of the back seat, there's a little panel over here that you can lift up, and it gives you access to the fuel pump and multiple other components. This right here is our fuel tank pressure sensor, and that's it.
So we have the signal wire for the fuel tank pressure sensor back probed, and we're getting a reading of 2.5 volts. And when we compare that with all data, you can see that equals about zero pressure, so no vacuum or no pressure inside of the fuel tank right now. So we have the smoke machine hooked up through the gas cap, and we currently have the vent solenoid open. And we're going to go in and see the smoke coming out of the vent very faintly. I don't know if you can quite tell that it's coming out of there, but the entire wheel well is filling up with smoke right now, so it is indeed venting out of there.
So we currently have the smoke machine hooked up to the vent up there, and we're going to take a look at the gas cap up here and see how it reacts to the smoke in the system. As you can see, once the pressure starts building in the system, the gas cap will vent out some of the smoke.
Alright, so finally we have the line going to the purge valve from the canister open, and if we hit it then we can see smoke coming out of here. Go ahead. There it is, and we were trying to get this at the throttle body. You're good. However, we weren't able to keep the purge valve open with the scan tool, but we were able to get smoke at the purge valve.
So with the AUT scan tool, I'm going to run you through how to get to the evaporative leak system test. This is on the 2018 Hyundai Tucson. You're going to go here to Diagnostics, Control Unit, Engine, and then you're going to click on the Special Functions right there, and right over here you can see the EVAP leakage test. It'll come up with a screen of all the requirements you need to meet before doing this test. We're meeting those requirements right now, so I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And the test is completed, no leaks are detected.
So we're now going to go ahead and do an active road test in my Chevy Cobalt, once again using the AUT scan tool, and we will be monitoring the duty cycle of the purge solenoid. And we're going to be testing it at acceleration, cruise, which will be at about 35 miles an hour, and then at decel. Alright, so now we're going to accelerate up to 35.
As you can see, as he's accelerating, it reaches its peak duty cycle of being on 100% of the time.
And now we're going to cruise at 35 miles an hour.
Cruising at 35, we're sitting at about 30 to 34% of the time.
Alright, now I'm going to accelerate up to 45.
Reached 100% again.
Cruise at 45.
Back down to 30, 34, 40%.
And deceleration.
And as he decels, it drops all the way down to 0 there for a second, and then back up to 15.
Then we're going to do light acceleration up to 20. Oh, you stopped the video.
It's still going.
Now we're cruising at 20.
Cruising at 20 puts us at about 29, 30% of the time being on.
And then we're going to decelerate down to a stop.
And we are stopped, and as you can see, it was about 19% of the time until we completely stopped, where it dropped back down to 0%. Back up to 14 now.